Here we go. New Mexico 5-1. New Mexico State 3-1. The Aggies in their home whites, the Lobos in their traveling reds. The tip controlled by New Mexico State. Lewis Richardson pulls up quickly. That's short off the mark, and there's Schornstein, who's done a nice job on the rebounding side of things.
Well, the Aggies, obviously, they don't pass up very many shots. They like a quick tempo.
Talk a little bit about the New Mexico State defense, Nelson.
Well, they use a matchup zone.
In and out, no good.
And what they really try and do is close down the middle.
Oh, good speed. And Lampkin lost it, but he laid it in.
Well, we talked about the Lobos. None of them should have a ticket to this game. They cannot watch. They have to get back.
That's penetrating. Shields from the corner. Too strong. Second rebound for Schornstein. He's fouled underneath. And Schornstein has done a nice job on the offensive side of things. That's his 14th offensive rebound.
I think he's the leading offensive rebounder for the Lobos, which would surprise a lot of people.
38 rebounds in his last 4 games. Has struggled from the field, though, and they need a few more points out of Greg Schornstein. Mike Powers, Nelson Franz with you live from Las Cruces. Round 1 of this rivalry. Smith inside, Haynes. Shields now cut off, and we're going to have a 3-second violation on New Mexico.
I don't know if that was 3 seconds. It may have been more like 4 or 5. That's what that zone does. They'll give you the outside stuff, but if you try and work it inside, they really collapse around you.
Hubbard being guarded by David Gibson. Couple of shooters. Doc Davis working against Charles Pitt. Fade away, good. 4-0 New Mexico State. And back out front. Lobos trying to feel out this matchup zone.
They need to attack it, Mike. When they're out here 45 feet away, the zone doesn't have much to worry about. They need to make quick passes.
There's a steal. 6-0 New Mexico State. Hubbard with the steal and the 2-point.
Lobos 2 turnovers, and then they missed 2 3-point shots.
Need to look inside a little bit for Kenny Thomas, but sometimes that's difficult to do with this zone.
Well, what you need to do is maybe make 1 or 2 3-point shots. That'll loosen it up.
Shields inside. Thomas with the rebound. Still trying to get it, and he is fouled by Enoch Davis. Kenny Thomas had to straddle Clayton Shields inside the lane.
He was trying to do one of his patented power moves, but Clayton had good position on him.
And they'll give him 2 shots. Kenny Thomas has struggled at the free throw line 62% for the year. And last year he shot about 71%. So the shutout is averted.
I'll tell you what, both Charles and Kenny right now are struggling from the free throw line, although Charles has made, I think, 6 in a row.
6-2, and David Gibson gets a steal. Misses it. Still fighting for it. And the tip-up is good by Shields. So that's outstanding defense by the Lobos.
A little surprise here. The Lobos in a little bit of full court pressure caught the Aggies off balance.
Schornstein is guarding Richardson. We'll watch that matchup now. Richardson is 6'8", and Shorty about the same. And we'll have a whistle and a foul holding on Greg Schornstein.
Mike, I think we've already seen more fouls called tonight than we saw in the entire Texas Tech basketball game.
That was an odd game.
Yeah. See that good anticipation by David, takes it right in there. But look at the hustle. Instead of just sitting back there, both Smith and Shields get in there. Shields eventually gets the tip. Good hustle.
Back to live action. Richardson looks inside. Now he goes to Lansing, who was bodied up by Kenny Thomas. Dave Bliss not very happy with the defense that time by Thomas.
Instead of getting both hands up, Kenny just clearly bumped with the body that time. That's something you might be able to get away with, but not on the shot.
David Gibson off camera yelling at Kenny Thomas because he's supposed to be down underneath. And that's where he moves to. Good position. You see the numbers on Lampkin at the free throw line this season. It's and he gets the first.
And for someone shooting 23%, that was a good-looking shot, too. Nice backspin on the ball.
Well, remember at one point, Charles Smith was 3 of 10, and he's normally a good free throw shooter, too. So maybe Lampkin will come out of the slump and picks a good time to do it for the Aggies. 8-4 our score. New Mexico State on top after jumping out to a 6-0 lead. In the corner to Shields. Shields will run the baseline, the back and forth. Go ahead,
That's
Nelson.
right. Every time the Lobos hesitate on a pass, it allows the zone to catch back up. The Lobos need to move it very quickly, and you see the Lobos being hesitant when they catch the ball.
Charles Smith shot quite long and off the back of the iron and out of bounds. So New Mexico State with 16:45 to go first half, an opportunity to add to their lead.
Lobos in a man-to-man.
David Gibson with the kick. They'll reset the shot clock.
Kick ball, reset the 35-second clock is rolled out of the Aggies.
The Aggies are not a great three-point shooting team, and at some point the Lobos may use a little bit of a zone themselves.
Hubbard between the legs, puts it up a little bit short, fight for the rebound, and it's Kenny Thomas. Quick outlet to Gibson. Good job by the Aggies. Lebon to pick up Shields, and Shields throws it away. Sloppy. Back and forth. Richardson jams it down, and the Aggies are back up by 6.
That was all started with Clayton Shields. Clayton is not the best at putting the ball on the floor and trying to make something happen. Tried to pass off the dribble and got it stolen.
Hubbard got a hand on that last pass by David Gibson, so he's been very active out on the point. Kenny Thomas inside, and he muscles that one in.
That's Kenny Thomas's first touch off the offense. Whenever he gets it, he's going to be tough for the Aggies to guard.
Hubbard misses that one. Another rebound for Thomas. Schornstein back out. They move it quick. They'll get an open shot. They do. And Smith is really struggling. We'll have a foul on New Mexico inside. And that's on Greg Schornstein, his second. Timeout now on the floor. 15:20 to go in the first half of play. The Aggies on top of the Lobos by 4. Here from the Pan Am, the Aggies are leading the Lobos by a 10-6 score. Checking in for New Mexico State is number 3, Denmark Reed. Richardson pulls up. Tip up no good. Fight for it is Shields. And we'll bring it out of the pack to David Gibson.
Lobos with 9 rebounds. The Aggies just 3. The problem the Lobos are having, they're 2 of 9, 22%.
Daniel Santiago is in along with Royce Olney. Santiago from the corner, rather Shields, and he gets it back. Tries it again. The jump hook is short. Thomas keeps it alive. No good. Fighting for the rebound. And what are we going to have here? I'm not sure if they called a foul on Shields or not.
I'm not sure he knows.
The ref officially, yeah.
That was on number 22, Clayton Shields.
Not sure how we got a Clayton Shields foul on that one. Looks like he may have been pushed out of bounds. At any rate, it's Aggies ball underneath the Lobo basket.
The Lobos, I'll tell you what, they're playing hard, very aggressively. They just haven't made any threes, and the Lobos came into this game a very good three-point shooting team.
In fact, New Mexico shooting 47% on three-pointers. That, of course, has dropped.
A couple of them have not been good looks. Clayton has had 2 wide-open shots.
Right now, Charles Smith is on the bench, has yet to score.
Daniel Santiago and Kenny Thomas both in the game right now. See if they can use Daniel's height to get the ball inside.
Kenny Thomas will play the 4, the power forward. Reed will pull up and in. That's what he can do for the Aggies, no question about it. and it's the biggest New Mexico State lead at 7. Royce Olney uncorks it, and Royce sets it.
Did you see that, Mike? That was about a yard behind the three-point line. That's what that extra range will do, especially against a zone. Makes it very difficult to find him and get out there.
Gosa checks in and drives to the hole, misses the layup. That's Charles Gosa. We're going to have a whistle out front, and David Avoid gets a bit of a break there because the foul was right before he ran over Denmark Reed. And now Dave Bliss going to his bench much earlier than what we saw at Texas Tech, with Ben Baum coming in, Daniel Santiago will sit.
I think in a game that's going to be this tempo, using your bench early can be a very big plus.
Yeah, I can tell by the expression on Daniel Santiago's face, very frustrated. It's just spending about a minute in the lineup. Top of the key, Kenny Thomas. Olney again. Trying to set up Olney. They do it. Sweet-looking stroke, but he couldn't get it to go down.
David did a good job of penetrating against that zone, making it collapse just enough to get Royce the shot.
Charles Gosa going inside and throwing it away, but no, it's off New Mexico. One of the Lobos tipped it.
That was a hard pass.
For New Mexico State, 1 of 3 tonight, and the Aggies turned the ball over.
That's one of those frustrating turnovers that coaches hate to see them. There was just no pressure, just threw a bad pass.
And New Mexico quite a bit considerably worse than the Aggies right now, 1 for 6.
Mike, with Ben Baum in the game, I mean, with his height, they ought to try and get him some shots. That's one of the advantages of having him in the game is he's got the height, but he's got a very nice stroke.
Kenny Thomas, the leading scorer for New Mexico with 4. Working it around. Now to Thomas. And every time Royce gets the ball, they boo it. Difficult shot. In fact, Charles Smith forced that one up badly. And the Aggies reset, still leading at 13-9. Neither team shooting lights out yet, although Reed walks to, wow! NBA distance on that one off the back of the iron. Smith holds it up. Olney tries again. 3 for a quarter, gets the second one. Olney with 6 now, the leading scorer.
That's a good job of using your teammate's strength. Whenever Royce is in, you need to get him open shots.
Again, it's Reed, and that time no good. Tipped back. Kenny Thomas gets it out quickly to Spider Smith.
Man, it's going to be tough to get a fast break against those Aggies.
Yeah, they're back quickly. Royce thought about it again. Thomas in the lane, lost it to Ben Baum, who needs to get it back out and does. Gibson, 6 3-pointers on the season for David Gibson, 2 more than all of last year. And the Lobos have their first lead, 15-13.
The 3-point shots against the zone, that usually makes or breaks it.
Good give and go right there. Well done from Enoch Davis to Charles Gosa, and we're tied. 2 points for Charles Gosa, whose brother Davies played at UTEP just down the road. Quick step by Charles Smith. They'll count it, but they'll say Smith charge.
So that's always the easy call for the ref, you know. Split the baby. We'll give you 1, but we're going to give the foul.
Lewis Richardson returns to the lineup for New Mexico State, along with Antoine Hubbard. Again, they were teammates, junior college in Mississippi. We need to take a timeout. The Lobos have clawed back and lead it by 2. 17-15, the Lobos up by 2. They did trail at 1 point by 7 against the Aggies. Royce Olney off the bench with 6 points. He had only 1 shot at Texas Tech. Boss John Lebon goes inside and loses it. First real fast break opportunity for New Mexico. And look at that. Give and go, and back and forth, 2 points.
Very good play by Charles Smith to give the ball up early to the shorter guy. He can get it back to him if he doesn't have a shot. Good play by Spider. Very unselfish.
4 points for Spider Smith. The largest lead for New Mexico. Here's Richardson. Boy, he's got a quick first step, working against Ben Baum, and they'll call him for going over the back. I like his first step. He's very quick, and for a junior college kid, he's pretty savvy at using it.
Here you see, look, early dish to Royce, touch pass right back to Spider. Great pass by Royce Alney.
Charles still looks a little bit out of sync. Even on a shot like that, he didn't look particularly comfortable. Back to Alney. And they're booing Royce, as I mentioned, whenever he gets the ball. I think they're thinking back to 2 years ago when he got into a little bit of a pushing match with one of the Aggies. I think they've got long memories here. Gibson forced that one inside. Enoch Davis rebound. Hubbard left alone, pulls up, and he gets the roll.
You know what, David, very seldom does David complain about the ref. He was upset they didn't call a foul, and he didn't get back, and his man got the jumper.
19-17. Both Richardson and Levon have been coming out on Royce, who threw that one up a little bit too strong, and now the Aggies can tie things up or take the lead. Hubbard, feet on the line. Back out, Enoch Davis brings it. 4 points for Enoch Davis, and we're tied at 19-all.
Kenny Thomas on the bench, getting ready to come back in, got a little breather.
Gibson slicing, and he is fouled with the block, and he'll get 2.
David sees a little bit of daylight. He's not shy about taking it all the way to the hole.
Now, is there any exhaust coming out of his shoes? Because he just zooms.
See there, good job there. Any contact in that situation is going to go against the defender.
And that last foul was on Carl Laws for New Mexico State, who just came in. 6'7", a freshman out of Sioux City, Iowa. David Gibson has 4 points. Born in Roswell, New Mexico, played at Sandia High School. Three-quarter court trap here now. Let's see what Hubbard does with it. Back to Levon. Good job by the Aggies to break that one. Inside to Richardson, who lost.
You can't really blame him. I mean, he was wanted to see where Kenny Thomas was before he ducked his shoulder, and while he was doing that, he moved his feet.
Here's a look at Neil McCarthy. Tough week for Neil. The Big West Conference is looking into an incident at UTEP on Wednesday night. Reportedly bumped an official, and then, as many of you heard, an obscene gesture, which he has apologized for. But the Big West Conference is looking into that. Gibson in the lane, a little bit strong, but he gets the roll.
Zones cannot allow that type of penetration. It breaks the whole zone down, because even if David missed that, Kenny Thomas had gotten in position to get the offensive rebound.
18-12 left first half. Richardson will take that three-pointer. Inside, good position. That's Tobias Lampkin short. And here comes Gibson out of the pack. Look at that speed. He'll pull up at the free throw line, and he'll kiss it off the glass.
I don't think he called it.
He did. I saw.
Okay.
And we're going to have a timeout, a 20-second New Mexico State timeout. And David Gibson has 9.
David, a little payback for his game that he had in Texas Tech, and not one of his better games. Boy, he is very crisp and very aggressive, something that he was not against the Red Raiders.
New Mexico State is playing without Aaron Broad, a power forward they had hoped to use a little bit against Kenny Thomas. He was injured in the first UTEP game and probably won't play until the first of the year.
He was someone that they wanted to see come in and just give him 5 strong fouls against Kenny Thomas. Give him some extra minutes. Without him, if anyone ever, they're more likely to get in foul trouble, Mike.
So look at Dave Bliss with Ron Garcia, the new assistant coach for the Lobos this year, former Albuquerque High assistant coach. Coming into the ball game for the first time, Ronte Davis for New Mexico State from Lancaster, Texas. He's a forward. Richardson again. He's a little bit out of control there, and he puts it up and in, and that cuts into the New Mexico lead down to 4. And for Richardson, he has 4 points. Shields, a little quick on that one. Aggies have the advantage. Walks the alley-oop. And it's tipped away by David Gibson. And how did David Gibson get from guarding the guy with the ball at the free throw line to somehow getting back there to tipping it away?
I can understand how you wouldn't understand this at all, Mike. It's quickness and leaping ability.
Now, let me understand. Is that a slam?
No, it's compliment.
Richardson, 62% at the line this year. You see his numbers there, very good. Richardson and Hubbard, as I mentioned, came from Jones County Junior College in Mississippi. Their coach there, Fletcher Cockrell, is now an assistant coach for Neil McCarthy right here. Second one, no good. Got a box out. That's Ronte Davis with the follow jam. What happened, Nelson?
Like I said, the Lobos cannot be watching tonight because every time you watch, you're going to get burned.
Sloppy pass. Aggies have a chance to tie. And they do. Denmark Reed can not only shoot, he can drive.
Points off of turnovers. That's what's really hurting New Mexico right now. They're rebounding well. They started shooting better, but they're not taking care of the basketball. And Mike, when you're playing a team like the Aggies, every turnover is going to result in a very good shot by the Aggies.
Jay Bliss with a 20-second timeout. David Gibson leads the way with 9. Smith and Thomas with 4 each. But Clayton Shields with only 2 points tonight.
Clayton has several really good looks, just not able to drain any yet.
There's Spider Smith. How about that for coming out after a timeout? 7 points for Spider, and here comes Lebon bringing it down with Hubbard on the bench. Both coaches going to their bench early and often so far. Denmark Reed again. Nice rotation. Ties it.
Whenever he catches the ball, Reed has his feet squared, and he's ready to go. Any daylight at all, and although he's not very tall, he'll get the shot off.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, 180 pounds from Portland. Second cousin to Damon Stoudemire, the former Arizona star. Smith again, and Spider hits again. Ronte Davis got out there just a tad late. Well, all of a sudden, we've gotten into a shootout now.
The Lobos still have a big advantage inside with Kenny Thomas, but they have to get him the basketball.
He's had very few looks. Sometimes that three-point shooting gets contagious. Schornstein looking to end a 2-game drought and does. Schornstein did not have a field goal against Arizona or Texas Tech. 34-28 New Mexico. 5:20 to go first half. Richardson leans in against Kenny Thomas to score.
Guys that lean in like that, I mean, they could have called a foul on Kenny Thomas.
Baseline. And away from the ball, and we're going to have a foul away, and it'll be a hold on New Mexico State. Richardson, I made the point earlier that he's very quick. Well, sometimes it's like he moves before he puts the ball down, and he needs to watch that.
Or if you're a Lobo fan, they want the refs to watch that.
Good point. Timeout on the floor. The Lobos 10 and C6. From the Pan Am, New Mexico leads New Mexico State 34-30.
2 players and a little bit of foul trouble. Antoine Hubbard with 2 and Greg Schornstein with 2 fouls. No one else with more than 1.
Ben Baum has returned to the lineup for the Lobos. Royce Olney and Greg Schornstein on the bench right now, and alley-oop a little bit behind Clayton Shields. Another turnover charge to the Lobos. 3-point shooting tonight. New Mexico is 6 of 14. New Mexico State 3 of 7. That's identical 43%.
That was the 7th turnover by the Lobos.
Off the backboard, no good on the long three-pointer. David Gibson will bring it. Shields is open. Finally, he gets the range. It's only a matter of time for the Lobos' leading scorer at 22 a game.
I really like the way David puts pressure on the defense on the break. Even if he can't make something happen, he took it all the way to the baseline. The zone followed him and freed Clayton for the wide-open three.
Well, the Lobos, this is their biggest lead, and no longer the biggest lead as Denmark leads. You got to be impressed with this young man.
Boy, if you got extra points for arc on the shot, that would have been a 5 or 6 pointer.
37-32. Kenny Thomas throws it hard inside to Ben Baum, who pushes it through.
That's Kenny Thomas at the 4 right there. He's a very good passer. He can hit that shot, and then he can turn and find the open person against that zone.
Less than 4 to go, first half. Antoine Hubbard back out to Reed. You got to cover him early. Davis misses. Shield, or rather Thomas, wisely holds up after the rebound. David Gibson looks so much more comfortable tonight than he did at Texas Tech. We talked in that game that he had the flu, and we didn't know how much it affected him, but I think it's fair to say it did. And Baum hits his second one.
Boy, what a nice 1-2 play there. Kenny comes up, he catches it, everyone focuses on him, and you and I talked about when Ben Baum's in the game, get him some shots.
Couple of assists there for Kenny Thomas. 41-32, the lead is 9. The Lobos have taken this crowd out of the game a little bit. Enoch Davis will put it up. A lot of one-on-one going on right now for New Mexico State. Hubbard lost it. They get it back. No. And Baum wrestles it. And finally we'll have a whistle. And Ben Baum showing that he can play tough.
One of the things that Ben's going to play in a game like this, he needs to be very aggressive.
Bonus situation, and Ben Baum will go to the free throw line. That last foul was on Ronte Davis.
You know, we talked about Ben Baum having a good stroke. He's yet to show us he has that good stroke from the foul line.
Well, he's 1 of 3 this season. And he misses it there. Rushed it a little bit. Enoch Davis is blocked. Good hustle back by Royce Olney and Ben Baum.
Clayton, a wise thing. He could have tried a risky play, but Davis came back, met the ball.
Shields thought about it to Ben Baum. Fade away, and he gets the roll. He's starting to look a little bit more comfortable with each possession.
When he has that fadeaway and with his height, it's tough to guard.
Ben Baum, 3 for 3, 6 points. Reed again, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and they'll call that on Ben Baum. He got tangled up inside on Lewis Richardson, and the Aggies now are in the bonus. It was actually a pretty good box out, I think, by Ben Baum, but for whatever reason, Richardson fell down, and he'll shoot the bonus.
What it looked like Richardson was grabbing on to Ben Baum's arm that time, and Ben was just trying to get his arm free.
Neil McCarthy going down and talking and rubbing the head of Ronte Davis at the far end of the bench. Free throw good by Richardson.
Who had the dunk while ago off the free throw, Mike? Do you remember that?
I believe that was Ronte Davis. Both free throws good, and that will send us to a timeout. The Lobo lead, 43-34. Charles Smith continuing to move up the ladder at UNM.
As he passed me up.
I think freshman season, 13.
You know, Mike, Kenny Thomas already has 6 rebounds in tonight's game, and you and I talked about he ought to have 10 defensive rebounds every game if he'll just be aggressive with his talent.
Only far side now. Gibson in. Looking inside. Baseline to Shields. Good hand short. Put back, no good. A couple of blown opportunities by the Lobos at the free throw line with the 1-and-1 a moment ago, and then 2 short misses by Shields.
The big plus for the Lobos is Kenny Thomas from going to the second half. It's just the 1 foul.
You see the time on the shot clock. Enoch Davis fades away, and Shields, good job boxing out. Time to play smart with the ball. Gibson thought about it, kept going, and he draws the foul. Denmark Reed reaches in. Denmark Reed with his first personal foul.
That's one of the advantages of using your bench also, Mike, is you're less likely to get in foul trouble whenever guys, instead of playing 38, 40 minutes, are playing, 32, 34 minutes. That makes a significant difference.
Well, your point is illustrated right here because Ben Baum comes in and Greg Schornstein goes out with his 2 fouls, and they were able to protect Greg quite a bit because of the play of Ben Baum. Gibson hits them both. 11 points for David Gibson, and he is the leading scorer for New Mexico tonight. Goes for the steal, lets Hubbard all alone, and he gambled and lost that time.
That also hurt because if you would have made the Aggies make just 2 more passes, the Lobos could have gone for the last second shot.
Kenny Thomas makes free throw line free throw. Shields should bring it back out, does to only. That's way too strong, and it's tipped out of bounds. I thought the Lobos would hold it, and then they would have been able to take the last shot.
Well, they didn't. They weren't. When they went down the court, they should have realized the clock situation and should have immediately thought, if we do ever get an offensive rebound, pull it back out, and we won't be faced with this situation right here.
Lobos lead by 9, and the Aggies will try to take the last shot. Traditionally, this is hard for the Aggies to do, to work a little clock, because they do like to crank it up. Here's Hubbard. Draws the foul with 13 seconds left.
You're so smart, Mike. I mean, you call it. I mean, although he gets fouled and stuff, you want to make this play as the clock is winding down, especially when you're as athletic as Hubbard is. You can get that shot anytime.
I hope I'm taping this at home so I can go back and listen to you say, you're so smart. But I don't think I've ever heard that.
I just said Mike. I was talking about another thing.
Royce Olney will sit down, and Charles Smith will replace him. Again, 13 seconds left. First free throw slides in. Hubbard has 7. Had 12 points against UTEP the other night in his debut for the Aggies. Second one is also good. And now Boston Lebon comes in.
Taking Hubbard out because he has the 2 fouls.
Well, the Aggies have cut it to 7 now. 45-38. The Lobos will try to take the last shot here. Gibson finally picks it up. Spider-Smith back to Gibson. Still time, 6 seconds. Smith, double teamed. Shields will get it off. A little bit too strong, and that will end the first half of play. Pretty good sequence to get a good shot, but it wouldn't drop. The Lobos will go up into the locker room at halftime, leading the New Mexico State Aggies. Our score at the break is 45-38. Stay with us for a news update, a weather update. We'll get you all caught up.
Start the ball game. There's a look at New Mexico. The Aggies, same way. 2 seniors in that lineup. Mike Powers, Nelson France with you live from the Pan American Center in Las Cruces. And David Gibson goes down hard, and they'll say it's off New Mexico State.
David lost his balance, then got tripped, and he's lucky some Aggie touched that ball.
Inbounds play to Shields. Lobos led here last year by 8 at the half. Cross-court pass. Shields. Good start for Shields in New Mexico.
Mike, cross-court passes are very difficult for zones to cover. The Aggies didn't do a good job of putting pressure on the Lobo that made that pass.
48-38 our score. Shields has 8. The largest Lobo lead, 11 in the first half. It's now 10. New Mexico State's one loss was to UTEP on Wednesday. It's the same night the Lobos lost, as we have a whistle, and And an offensive foul, a blocking foul on Lebon as he set the screen. Watch number 5.
Watch the screen there. Couldn't really tell. I think they must have called that he didn't give any room, or he was moving into Shorenstein instead of getting set.
Not a lot of contact there. Inside to Kenny Thomas, who took just 2 field goal tries in the first half. Really a bad shot there by Smith. Quick outlet to Hubbard, 3-pointer.
Well, whatever you're shooting 3-point shots and missing them, the Aggies, because of their quickness, they'll get those long rebounds and go the other way.
48-41, Hubbard with 11 points.
Kenny wants the basketball, getting a little frustrated, even though he might not shoot it from there, he can make a lot of things happen.
Gibson drives in, and they'll count it. It's a blocking foul.
Lobos and Ike are doing a good job of spreading that zone out because they've made a few 3-point shots, quite a few the first half. And then it's easier for a guy like David Gibson to get in. You see how he slides to the side? The Aggie was moving. Good call.
This is the first foul on Tobias Lampkin. And Gibson will shoot 1 free throw to try to complete the 3-point block.
He's perfect from the foul line. I think he's 4 for 4.
5 for 5, and his free throw percentage will definitely go up. 14 points for David Gibson. Looking for Lebon inside, working it around. There's Lebon. The lefty puts it up. Off the iron. Hubbard, the shortest guy on the floor, is fouled. Did a good job drawing the contact from Clayton Shields.
That was a good fake he made. He got the rebound, he got inside, and they did a ball fake into the middle of the lane and got everyone out of position, then drew the foul.
Correction, it was not on Clayton Shields, it was on David Gibson, his 3rd. I thought he moved into Clayton Shields, but no. There's a look at Neil McCarthy and his brain trust over there. And Hubbard misses them both. Thomas with the rebound. Shorenstein hit one earlier, and he draws the foul. You look awfully stupid if you don't make contact, but Greg Shorenstein got it done.
Very heads-up play. Gets the guy in the air, and then just jumps into him. Now, I'll tell you what, you're not going to look very smart if you step up there and you don't make these free throws.
And was he beyond the arc? Will they give him 3?
No, he was beyond the arc, Mark. Mike, what's your name? Whenever he took the shot, he stepped in front of the line. We're gonna have to
you can call me whatever you want, Harry.
I say name tags.
Greg has really struggled at the free throw line. Right now it's 4 of 7, but going back to last year, that would look better. Gets the second one, and the lead is 11. Richardson way outside, in and out. And he didn't have anybody underneath the glass to go for the rebound. That was an easy one for the Lobos as Royce Olney comes in for David Gibson now. The Lobo coaching staff feels so comfortable with David Gibson running the show. It'll be interesting to see how long they keep him on the bench. Oh, what a gift. 2 Aggies fought for it and goes right to Charles Smith. This is the biggest lead for New Mexico, 13 points.
They could use that name tag thing too.
Knock Davis a little bit short. Laws with it. Enoch short again. Tip up no good. That's like the Aggies of old there. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. Really hitting the glass hard.
That's what they're so good at. They get those athletes, not always the best shooters, but they get the ball up on the glass and then just go and get it.
Clayton Shields don't like the look at that at all. Trying to work out a muscle pull, or maybe he took a knee. Having some problems.
What it looked like was that he might have come down on someone's foot there and twisted his ankle a little bit.
Richardson. For Richardson tonight, his first point of the second half. He has 9 for the game.
It's tough being a doctor when you don't get to talk to the patient. You just have to kind of guess.
Now we need to train them to look over here and to let us know. Another rebound for Kenny Thomas. 54-42. Glad you're with us. Exclusive live coverage of Lobo basketball on Q13. Aggies, and whoa. Royce has had a couple of turnovers tonight, silly ones, and that one slipped out of his hand. And that'll drive coaches nuts.
Royce, who's wanting to play some baseball after his basketball career is over with, that would have gone down as an E.
That step by Richardson, got it back. Taking it right at Kenny Thomas. And Thomas gets it out of there, and Kenny's a little bit upset about the contact inside.
Boy, Kenny, strong and really good hands.
Turnover that time by New Mexico did not hurt them. Now they get it into Thomas, who gives it back out. Spider Smith makes them pay.
Well, that's one of the things. Kenny doesn't have to shoot it every time he gets it, but if you'll get it to him on the block, creates so many problems for the other team.
15 points now for Charles Smith. The Lobos are up 57-42. And Neil McCarthy trying to work the officials a little bit, but he's obviously more concerned with his team right now.
You know, Mike, one of the things that Neil may try and do with Gibson on the bench, they try and go with a little full court press.
Back in December of 1993, the Lobos and the Aggies in the pit, and there's no question the Lobos thought they had this one all to themselves. As we take a look at another Lobo flashback, less than a minute to go in regulation, Brian Hayden brings it down and the Lobos led by 9. But the Aggies came back, forced overtime, a second overtime, and went on to win it in the pit in one of the more improbable comebacks in the history of this series. Lobos have made 9 3-pointers tonight, coming in 47% on trays, and they're about at that again tonight.
And that's after starting out very cold first few minutes of tonight's game.
1 of 7. Hubbard inside, and he scores. Foul, Kenny Thomas. And in that matchup, we look to Kenny Thomas as having the strength and bulk advantage, but Richardson is just about as quick.
You know, watch this. Kenny needs to get his arms up in the air, get them both up and get them straight up in the air, because people are going to try and make any contact, because a guy is the size of Kenny Thomas, sometimes contact goes against him.
3-point play by Richardson. There's a timeout on the floor. 15:32 to go. The Lobo lead is 12.
Lobo basketball.
And Z6. Lobos with the ball up 57-45. 15-20 and counting left in regulation. David Gibson has returned to the lineup, and Charles Smith is now out. Shot clock at 13. Gibson will take it. Look true. Royce Olney wisely brings it back. Inside Thomas, and he stuffs it. First Lobo stuff of the night, I believe, and it was a big one.
And it was about a 6-footer, too. I mean, he wasn't even that close to the goal. He just grabbed the rim and brought it over to him.
Oh, good hustle by Shields, who travels, but what hustle right in front of us here. For Kenny Thomas now, he has 6 points and 9 rebounds. And we're going to take another look at this one. Clear out below, please.
Look how he has to reach out across to get the rim.
Lobos, this is at a point in the game where New Mexico needs to keep that intensity up, forget about the score, because the Aggies are potent enough to come back. Hubbard, a little bit strong. It's a big-time rebound by Shields.
Didn't have the best position either.
No. Clayton had a terrific game as a freshman here, and Neil McCarthy had tremendous praise for him. Back to Thomas. Shorenstein. Fake. Little jump shot, and it's good by Royce Only. Coming into the game, Royce had taken only 4 two-pointers. The rest had been trays. Richardson, another rebound. And the Aggies getting impatient.
This is where the Lobos can attack the zone, Mike, but use a little of the clock. I mean, the Aggies seem to be getting a little frustrated. They're not as aggressive out of that zone. Take a few more passes. Get a better shot.
61-45 our score. Dangerous pass. It's tipped away. Only hustling for it. Gives it off to Thomas, who reverses it. Timeout New Mexico State. And I thought Kenny Thomas may have double dribbled with it, but he gets the jam. Oh. And Thomas now with a double-double.
Mike, Royce, you know, we've talked about it. He's just such a competitor. I mean, what's this steal here? Going against someone who's quicker than he is, but great defensive position, sacrifices his body, gets it to Kenny Thomas, and there's that little 2 hits. Probably was a double dribble.
Well, the last time I saw one like that, it reminds me of Ike Williams in the WAC tournament against BYU when the Lobos were storming back. And Ike did that jam with the Lobos leading it by 1 or something like that.
Soon after that, Kahari Jackson was doing the airplane down the sideline.
And you can see the basketballs, over 1,000 of them handed out by the city of Socorro, which has sponsored tonight's basketball game. And they decided, since they're between the 2 cities and this is a big rivalry, they wanted to get involved with it. Pretty neat. Enoch Davis driving against Clayton Shields, and he answers the run by New Mexico. The lead is down to 16. 6 points for Enoch Davis, who averages 16 a game.
The Lobos are doing a good job of getting the ball into the high post. There you see Shorning with it, and that really breaks the defense down.
Shields for 3. 11 rebounds for Kenny Thomas, and now they have a fresh shot clock. But they'll take the 3-pointer. Another rebound. And it is off New Mexico.
That's Kenny Thomas. I mean, I think he has to realize that some nights he's not going to get very many shots, but he should always be a terror on the boards.
He scares me, and I'm about 50 feet away from him.
Get up, 3-point line.
Clayton Shields is on the bench right now, and Charles Smith returns after a nice little breather on the bench. Tate Davis with it, 0-0. Here's Hubbard. Oh, good crossover. And that's not a good matchup with Royce Only on Antoine Hubbard. 13 now for Hubbard. Aggies have scored 4 in a row.
It's a good time to use a little clock. You can get a score. The crowd's starting to get back into the game. It will be very effective for the Lobos.
Only will crank it up, and he hits it. All right, I saw you shaking your head on that one, Nelly.
I said, I can't believe they left him open like that. I mean, that's the guy you got to watch. I mean, David Gibson, although he's improved, leave him open for the 3, but don't let Royce get
I
open.
thought you were shaking your head because you thought it was off the mark.
You'll never know.
You're quick on your feet. Only now 3 3-pointers, 11 points. Just down the road in TRC, New Mexico. And this is always a big game for him. 1 foul on Royce Only, and there's a timeout on the court. Lobos in command, leading at 66-49. You're watching Lobo basketball on Q13.
Lobo basketball is brought to you.
Shields and Thomas have out-rebounded New Mexico State.
Mark Reed comes in. Antoine Hubbard puts it up. No good. Gets the offensive board. Tries it again. And that one's good. So 3 quick shots for New Mexico State.
After those 2 rebounds, New Mexico State has 23 rebounds. Kenny and Clayton have 23 rebounds.
At what point, as Ben Baum comes in to give Kenny Thomas a breather, At one point, do the Aggies come out of their matchup zone? Oh, look at that feed. Greg Schornstein, well done. Do you think the Aggies will stay in that matchup zone, or is that as good as a man-to-man?
No, it's not, because the Lobos obviously can back it out. They may start trapping out of that zone. That's what I'd expect them to do.
17 points for Charles Smith, leading scorer in the ballgame. Schornstein with the rebound. The Lobos have just looked solid tonight. 11th ranked in the country and looking it.
Lobos are doing a better job of passing. And the Aggies are not putting the pressure that Texas Tech did, especially here in the second half. The Lobos just more aggressive here tonight.
Well, you hit it on the head. I don't think the Aggie pressure is nearly as good as we saw in the first half. Shot clock down to 8, and Gibson will try to get something going with it. Watch the screen. Not much time, down to 2. They get it off. The prayer.
35 seconds.
And I thought he got it off before the clock went off, but apparently not. And one of the officials tonight makes the call. And by the way, the officials are Frank Bissoni, Vern Harris, and Kelly Self. Lobos now up to 50% shooting. The Aggies about 43%, which is better actually than I thought it was.
Well, they got those easy shots to start the game with on some second shots and also on some Lobo turnovers that beefed that up.
Charles Gosa looked away at the last second and went right through his hands. The sophomore out of Phoenix, and one of the few freshman high school kids that the Aggies have recruited in the recent years, and they'll have to go to that in the coming couple of years because of NCAA sanctions.
Lobos look fresh. I think the fact that they got some breathers in the first half really helps them a lot.
And Kenny Thomas answers right back by throwing it away. So with less than 10 to go, the Lobos lead remains 68-51. Ben Baum on Richardson now. They'll double team him, and it's blocked. High arching shot by Denmark Reed is good, and Reed has done a good job coming off the bench. And he is in the books in the second half with 12 points.
Lobos, it's all right to work a little clock, but you don't want to pass up any good shots.
Too strong. Thomas, oh, touch pass to Baum, who has that blocked. Shields will put it in on the jump hook. Clayton, his game is becoming much more diverse. Whistle, foul, count it. And that'll be on Kenny Thomas. Let's take a look at the plays at the other end.
Look at that rebound up in the air. You know, we were talking about some of the guards needing to be quicker on their passes. Kenny Thomas, one of the best passers, and Clayton finishes that off.
That block that we just saw by New Mexico State, as we take a look at the Lobo bench, was only the 6th of the year. And normally the Aggies are very good defensively at rejecting the ball.
That was Kenny's 3rd foul. That's why it's so important for him to come into the second half with less than 2 fouls.
Good rebound, Thomas. 15-point bulge for New Mexico.
See, that zone is starting to spread out a little more.
Schornstein loses the ball, may have gotten a hack a little bit. Hubbard, top of the key, 3-pointer. So the Aggies showing some life. And Dave Blitz calls the timeout, does not like what he's seen the last couple of minutes.
I think you pointed it out earlier. As the Lobos get a little lead, they cannot be complacent.
Saying, well, I heard the big roar. The Aggie crowd is back in it now. A little bit sloppy with the pass. It's a 12-point game. Clayton Shields. Charles Smith, Ben Baum on the bench right now. Shot clock down to 10, and we're going to have a push on New Mexico State.
They're doing everything they can to keep the ball from going inside to Kenny Thomas. Lobos get a new shot clock here.
We need to take a timeout. 7:48 to go, and the Lobos hanging on to a 12-point lead. The Lobos are nursing a 12-point lead, and it did look solid a while ago, but the Aggies have made a bit of a run. Another turnover, almost. That has been a problem for the Lobos.
Lobos with 15 turnovers. That's what's keeping the Aggies close right now.
Inside to Kenny Thomas, pushed out a little bit. Zings one across court. Only no good. And the Aggies cleared away Richardson. Hubbard hustling down. Enoch Davis fakes. Tip, no good. Shields with another rebound. And we're going to have a whistle to stop play as Richardson went down. Looks like he'll be okay. Unhappy with apparently the reason that he fell.
Since the Lobos were not pushing the ball up the floor at that time, the refs ruled that they could stop the play right there. And there you see him hitting his head and neck up against that padded.
I think Greg Schornstein gave him a little bit of a shove, but
For the safety of the players, all you're going to do is get involved in this game and probably cause something.
and they're warning the crowd here not to throw those basketballs or anything else on the floor. Of course, that's the problem when you give out so many things, but I think the crowd has been well behaved tonight. 70-58. And we're going to have a foul. A little bit of a late call on Hubbard, but it is a foul. The Aggies don't like it. And it's the third foul on Hubbard. Stepped right on his foot and brought him down.
The Aggies are putting extra pressure. They're spreading that zone out. This is an opportunity for the Lobos maybe to get it inside to Kenny Thomas.
Or Clayton Shields, a reverse.
Or Clayton Shields.
72-58, Denmark Reed. 15 points for Reed, and that is his third three-pointer. So the Aggies have clawed back and are down by 11.
Boy, Reed has really been a spark for the Aggies.
He most certainly has. And that got the crowd back in it. Only tries to answer and quiet him.
As this zone spreads out, I mean, if you don't get the steal, you're going to give up something.
4 3-pointers for Royce Olney. Hubbard is tough. So tough. Oh. 75-63.
Sorry, Mike, you talked about Royce being mismatched. Right now, it looks like whoever's guarding Hubbard is in a mismatch.
They're leaving Schornstein alone. That's a dangerous pass. Looking inside, Thomas whirls, throws it too hard, out of bounds.
Kenny was wide open for that little 4-footer. He should have taken it.
Less than 6 to go. In regulation, Hubbard. That's the trouble with taking a quick shot like that. It can fire your team up, but it can also take you right out of it.
Lobos are doing a good job of working the zone and stuff and then getting the ball inside or getting the open three.
They'll leave Gibson alone out there. Won't worry about him. Shot clock down to 10 off the window as Royce Olney. Off the bench, 16 points, and in the entire bench for New Mexico at Texas Tech had 1 point. Royce has 16. Whistle, foul, in and out. Schornstein with the reach, and Richardson will shoot 2. And for Greg Schornstein, his third. Charles Smith is now New Mexico's 4th career scorer with 1,546 points, moving past Mel Daniels, as we mentioned earlier, and Willie Long.
And that's the type of balanced team that the Lobos would like to have and normally do have. I mean, you've got a scorer like Charles Smith on the bench in a game like this because a guy like Royce has come in and is doing so well.
Short and Shields, like Thomas, are owning the glass, and we're going to have a tie ball. Clayton got a little bit careless, and the possession arrow is for New Mexico State.
You always have to be careful when all you do is just basically put both arms around the ball and kind of huddle up around it.
Oh! And a whistle, though, and the foul, and Richardson will go back and shoot 2 more.
We'll see all he does now. He's not moving, and Davis just comes up behind him. Does a good job.
Too easy.
That's a good call by the ref.
You bet it is. Richardson to shoot 2. Gets the roll. It's a 12-point game, far, far from over because we have seen some wild things in this series. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see full court pressure by the Aggies tonight on that after the made free throw.
Well, I think they like this half-court trap better. They may have to go to that if the Lobos score one more time, though.
You hear the crowd. Denmark Reed and Antoine Hubbard are the point men for the Aggies. The guys leading the matchup zone. Shot clock at 12. Wild pass. Another wild pass. Shot clock at 6. Way outside. Royce Olney. Thomas bats it free, and here comes the Aggies. Reed. That would have been a big one, and we're going to have a whistle over the back of Schornstein, and that is the 16th foul.
So the Lobos are going to have to make free throws. I mean, the Aggies, now that they've made that 6th foul, they're going to start putting the Lobos on the free throw line because they can't allow the Lobos to come down and work much clock. So look for them to be very aggressive, if not in this first possession, in the rest of the possessions.
Let's set this up. 4:14 to go. The Lobos lead at 77-66. The Lobos led at the half, 45-38. The foul situation, the Aggies with 16 fouls, the Lobos with 7. So we will be in the bonus now for both teams. Leading scorers in the ball game now. Charles Smith with 17, Royce Olney with 16, David Gibson 14 for New Mexico. Antoine Hubbard is the leading scorer in the game with 20. Denmark Reed and Lewis Richardson with 15 points each.
I like bringing Kenny Thomas up to break the press. I mean, he's a good free throw shooter, although his numbers aren't showing it right now. He's got a nice stroke, and he's such a good passer. He can catch, turn around, hold the ball up high, and find someone. And if you get the ball in David Gibson's hands while he's slicing, he can really get down there and make something happen.
Charles Smith will play it into David Gibson. Clayton Shields is on the bench, and this is a better ball handling unit for the New Mexico Lobos. Looking inside to get an easy one to Kenny Thomas, who has some room. No whistle, yes, a whistle, and Thomas will shoot 2.
Oh, the Aggies had gone to a man-to-man that time, and like, look at Kenny, you talk about physical, goes straight up there. There you see the foul, but they don't have anyone who can guard Kenny one-on-one, and whenever they're putting pressure on the other players, there's no one that can come down and help, so Kenny's kind of all by himself in there.
Now, did the Lobos realize right away that they were in man-to-man, and that's why they were able to pound it inside?
Well, I don't know whether they did or not, but Kenny, he was yelling for the ball. He knew it.
Free throw, good. Thomas with 9 points.
The Lobos are going to make a substitution if Kenny Thomas makes this free throw. And the reason for that substitution is in order to get Clayton in for defense and rebounding.
Dave Bliss and the Lobos leading it with less than 4 minutes to go.
Just a lot of numbers on it. No, I'm just Kenny Thomas's stats: 4 for 5, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 15 rebounds. And that's the type of game that they've been expecting from Kenny Thomas, being able to play aggressively on the glass, even though he's not getting very many shots.
Well, the Lobos are up full court, putting a little pressure on the Aggies. And we're still waiting to play ball here. I don't know if they realize we're back, and now they do. And so here we go. I'll give it to Antoine Hubbard. And so much for the pressure that we saw there.
Token pressure.
Denmark Reed gives it off to Hubbard. Again, 2 good shooters. Gibson all over Hubbard right now. And Clayton Shields has returned. Charles Smith goes back to the bench.
Lobos doing a good job. The Aggies have wasted more than 20 seconds and not been able to take a quick shot.
Enoch Davis inside, and we're going to have a whistle, a foul on New Mexico. And again, Shields comes limping out of there, and I wonder if it's that same ankle.
Number 22, Clayton Shields.
I don't know, but I think after he got a little hurt, he's been shooting better. He started out a little slow. He was 2 of 10 at one time, and he's been shooting better ever since.
Substitution for Lobos.
That last foul was on Shields, and that is his third, and Clayton will go to the bench limping off with Spider coming on in.
Lobos have taken 29 three-point shots.
And they've made?
They've made 11. No, I mean, that's not bad, but the outside guys, Clayton's taken 15 shots, Smith 13, Royce 12 shots. That's where the shots usually are against the zone. Especially when you have Kenny Thomas inside and everyone's around him.
Rebound number 16 for Thomas. Good job breaking the press that time. 3:20 to go. 79-67. Dornstein needs to be careful of the backside Aggie coming around. Shot clock at 12. Alney needs some help. Down to 6. Spider Smith, creative, inside, scoring. Dave Bliss jumps off the bench, and it's 81-67.
Well, he tried to jump. There wasn't much clearance there.
Way outside. And another rebound for Kenny Thomas. He must be approaching his career best for rebounds, and we'll see if we can find that out for you. In fact, I believe unofficially he has passed that, but we'll see. 17 rebounds against Utah last year in the WAC tournament. And we have a turnover to New Mexico. Charge to New Mexico.
Number 5, Charles Smith, his second personal, 19th foul.
Coming into the ball game now, who has not played in the second half, is Carl Laws. And Tobias Lampkin, who has been relatively quiet tonight, will sit down. In fact, Lampkin tonight has just 4 points.
Charles, who didn't have any fouls and any rebounds in the Tech game, has 2 fouls and 3 rebounds.
Laws with a good rebound, reaching around, and we're going to have a held ball. And be careful, fellas. It's been a clean play game. We don't want to have anything happen here near the end. And the possession arrow to New Mexico.
When the ball's on the floor, if Royce is anywhere near there, matter of fact, if he's just in the game, he's going to be on the floor.
Right. The Aggies extend that pressure a little bit as we come up on 2 minutes to go.
This is where they're going to probably need to start fouling, because if they let New Mexico waste 35 seconds, the game will end pretty quick.
And they're content to do that right now with the shot clock, as you see, down to 8. Left alone and hitting it. 3-pointer for Charles Smith, and 84-67. Good dish by Reed, who looked out of control, and the scoop by Law. 22 points now for Charles Smith. Loose ball, saved to New Mexico. Here comes Gibson, barely getting it across the timeline.
Like I said, if the ball's on the floor, Royce is going to be there.
He'll be around it. Get it back to Olney, who will likely be fouled here. No, the Aggies don't do it. And apparently they have seen the writing on the wall now. Shot clock at 7. Does Gibson see it? Does not see it. And now we have a whistle and a foul.
And Neil McCarthy over there pointing to his head and pointing to the shot clock, saying, look, there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. If you're going to foul sooner, please.
And Neil McCarthy does want a 20-second timeout. And he will now get it with some of the faithful here heading out the doorway with 55 seconds left. New Mexico leads 84-69. One of the New Mexico State Aggies who we have not seen tonight is Chris Gonzalez, who is a walk-on from La Cueva High School and doing a good job for the Aggies. He didn't play against UTEP, but has seen action in 3 games and really a surprise.
Yeah, it was nice to see Chris when he came up and talked to us. Seems to be enjoying it here, and he before the last 2 games, he'd been getting quite a few minutes.
Inside the Lobo huddle on the bench now. Couple of notes here. David Gibson, season high, 14 points. Ben Baum has tied his career high with the Lobos with 6 points. And we haven't seen Lamont Long in this game, and I hope that Lamont isn't getting too frustrated, but he hasn't played since the Centenary game, and I know as a freshman you want to get in there, but as a freshman, coaches sometimes are a little bit hesitant to put you in the big games like we've had the last week.
And also, I mean, he came into a program that has 2 players with a lot more experience who are excellent college basketball players, Charles Smith, David Gibson, and Royce Olney, all in front of him. I mean, he's someone that needs to have a little patience, have a good attitude. They're going to get him in these games and stuff, and eventually, I think even this year, he's going to be able to contribute.
Well, I know they're counting on Lamont Long to be the heir apparent to Charles Smith, and they do believe he's got a bright future. As we take a look at Neil McCarthy, tough night for the Aggies so far. And after the last hoop by New Mexico, we see David Gibson there, I was tempted to say, and that ought to do it. But the last time I said that in this game, the Aggies came back from 9 down with less than a minute to go and eventually won it in double overtime. So I've learned my lesson now.
Well, you've got a lot of other lessons to learn. Your wife just wanted me to pass that on. She's glad you learned that one.
Dave Bliss, Coach of the Year in the Western Athletic Conference last season. And David is perfect on the night. Worked so hard in the offseason on improving his shooting, and it has really paid dividends. Enoch Davis forces it up, and Schornstein tracks it down. Olney with it, gives it off. Now this ball game, folks, is just about done. Hubbard trying to steal it from Olney. And the officials are letting this one go a little bit. Don't want to stop it unless it's a clear foul at this point.
Well, they've got a plane to catch. You can always tell whenever they've got a close connection somewhere.
Smith back out. Schornstein at the buzzer on the shot clock, in and out with 11 seconds to go. Hubbard will put this one up and he'll hit it. But that will be too late. And for the first time since 1971-72, the Lobos have won back-to-back games in the Pan American Center. Last year it was on a Hail Mary shot. This one, wire to wire almost. The Lobos take it 86-72 to improve to 6-1 on the season. Dave Bliss looking for Aggies to congratulate, trying to find Neil McCarthy out there somewhere. And a far different scene than what we saw last year. The Lobos have done it, 86-72. We'll be back with more from Las Cruces after this.